tree to Lakeshore Drive Boulevard, 140 of my steps from basically this tree all the way to the edge of the Lakeshore. So that was 140 steps. And we got that document on video that we took about a month or so ago. Times 140. So basically 327 feet is what we've got in question. Obviously plus or minus, it's not exact. And if you take that, yeah, the point. So anyway, episode The Point, we use this slide. So it's right there, trail on sloped side. Retaining wall on uphill side, previous paving. And may sometimes have retaining wall and guardrail on downhill side. Okay, so, and I really like this document, being kind of analytically minded. I kind of liked it, and I love trails, and I love kind of this stuff. So I was like, yeah, this is cool. And obviously, so then that was on page 6. Now, the document, there's 2 pages that were really interesting, full of page 10. Here was the cost per square foot, cost categories for structural systems. You got steel. Basically, and what I did over here on the right, basically over here on the right, I kind of took a ruler, just kind of gave an estimate as far as what it cost per square foot. And some savings and blah, blah, blah. And so the steel, basically it was about 114 square foot concrete. Is basically about 153. A floating structure would be basically your boardwalk. That's $200. Your continental bridge is $200, which, man, that's what I'm thinking would be. If you see the other episode that we've got out, that's the Longhorn Bridge fundraiser. If you see that, that's basically the Continental Bridge. I think the type of bridge it would be, if you're looking to do it cheap, would be a relatively cost-effective solution for that. And if you wanted to make it a monument, it's going to be a little bit more. And then you got your land-based trail, which is basically about $8. And depending, it can be as cheap as $0. Like this, for me, the way I look at zero, and this is how it is that this already exists. This doesn't cost any money. This already exists here. City owns it. It exists today. You can see it on Google when you satellite it. So this is all free. This doesn't cost anything. This, I'm sure, whatever needed to be dealt with up here, the waterfront community would probably help with some money on that if that was possible. I can't, obviously commit them to any kind of funding. So, but I'm pretty sure they're very reasonable. Would be more than happy to work on this. And so, and this is also right now they've been complaining that the city owns this property. The city parks owns that property up in front. I think it's actually in one of those videos. So that the city already owns that. So that's free. So that's one of the reasons. Like this is already free. There's no cost associated with that. So the only cost anyway is this stretch here. So, with that said, what we're proposing then, and we understand the drainage issues, I mean, we can learn and we can be flexible, and we believe that AMLE is going to do this 8-foot trail, and we believe the sloped, the easiest, most cost-effective way for this solution is basically this deal. Page 6. So we're saying have this trail on slope property and solve your elevation issues with that kind of thing along this slope. If they're unwilling to grade that slope over there, then you just would have, because the 8-foot wide or 7-foot wide, I've confirmed it, 7 foot is going this way anyway. There is a 7-foot trail that's going there. So what we think is the solution, that's why and let me just get to my point. So we think this trail on slope side would be the solution for basically the other half of that property that the HOA here is willing to donate that land necessary to get that done. So that's your solution, and according to their numbers, it is $35 a square foot, land-based trail on slope side. Now in these numbers, so 35, and we just proved basically almost 326 square feet. Well, look at times. Let's go ahead and make sure we're doing everything the best that we know as far as correct calculations. So we've already kind of established 2.33 tiger steps. Let me see, pop up Google here real quick. Let's find. I'll give you shelter from the storm. All right, so all I did was get out there real quick. I just Googled square foot calculator, so you can kind of come up with that. The reason why you need to do that is because of this. This is kind of their cost categories for structural systems. It's a cost per square foot, and obviously we have just calculated one piece of the puzzle, which is the length. So that's what we've kind of determined, the length, and now we got to convert it to a square foot so we can start putting some numbers together. So this square foot calculator, I'm putting in the width of 7 because Amley already confirmed with the project manager that Amley already has guaranteed a 7-foot land-based trail already. So then, as we've said many times, we need the 14-foot ADA compliant artery all the way up to Riverside. So this piece of it, since Amley's already got the 7-foot trail, then we're going to put in a width of 7 to get your 14 foot. So we'll do that, and then the length is going to be 327, which is 140 of my steps, which we've documented or got that on videotape, and then it's the 14. That's a conversion factor. So if you take 140, where's my calculator? So if you take the 140 times 2.333, get you 326 feet, so length. 327, and that's going to calculate total square footage for a for a 7-foot additional side trail. That's how 2,289 square foot. So if you were just to, as we said all along, that's square footage, 228 square foot times 35, which is your land-based trail on slope, equals, where's that, times 35, equals, so about $80,000 is what that would run to. Again, that's 7 foot, 327 foot, total square footage 2289. So we take 2289 times 35, which is the land-based on slope trail, gets you $80,000, and they're projecting it's going to run them 1.2. Now, also the interesting thing is that if you were to say, if you wanted, we think one of the cool things to make this really a unique opportunity is, as you'll see here, this Continental Bridge, which is $200 a square foot, and it spans up to 120 foot. And one of the things, the reason why we're going to use 104 foot is that we've documented to you out there the 104 foot, how long that is. We believe that should be adequate to cover any kind of issues that they have with the challenging parts of this trail.